So welcome to part 2 of the Who Moved My Cheese Change Profile. So by now you should have answered all 70 questions, and these numbers will have all automatically filled in for you. I want to draw your attention to the bottom of the sheet here, and you'll see that we are on the scoring tab. There's a plot scores tab which I want you to go to next. And when you click on that, it will reveal a whole nother set of charts. So in reading the directions, number 1 says, place the numbers in the 8 shapes from your scoring sheet into the 8 matching shapes on this page. And it should automatically have been done for you. So if I go back to my scoring, I will notice at the top, my little wavy is 125 and my battery is 60 and my angled squares is 63, so 125, 60, and 63. And when I come back to the plot scores, it's 125, 60, and 63. So these numbers will automatically transfer from this tab to this tab for you. So really, number 1 is already done. Number 2 says, in the graphs next to each shape, find your score for each shape in the white top row. So I'm going to have to kind of make this up because I did not go through and answer all the questions. So maybe my top number is just 25 instead of 125. So if my number is 25, I'll find it here. You'll notice this is a range. So I locate my 25 because, again, I'm pretending that the 1 isn't here. Step number 3 says change the shading color of the matching number in the shaded bottom row to yellow. So again, if it's 25, this is my top row. My shaded number is down here, and this is what I'm going to shade from blue to yellow. So I'll click on yellow. So I'll just pretend that this is a 6, so I would be here and I would change this to a yellow. And again, I don't know, I'm just going to pretend that it's 23 and I'm going to change this bottom shading to yellow. You're going to do that for all 6 of the top shapes. So down through 110. Don't change anything else. Once you have all 6 boxes shaded, so I'm just going to randomly pick a couple of numbers here. So I'm going to come back up. We just did step number 3, so I'm going to look at step number 4. Step number 4 says write the number you shaded to yellow in the shaded row on the line to the right of the first 6 graphs. So this is my shaded row, so I changed the color to yellow, my number 15. So over here, I'm going to type in a 15. You're going to type in whichever number you highlighted to yellow. Now you'll notice over here all these yellow boxes corresponding to your yellow numbers, and as you change each of these numbers, this number will automatically change. So here I'm going to leave it as 0. Here my number is a 50. This is a 30, and you can see my number down here is changing. So this is a 20, and this, in my case, is a 50. Again, you're going to use your numbers from here and proceed. All right, so that was directions number 4. Step number 5 in the directions says add the numbers in all 6 lines to the right of the graphs, those are these numbers, and place the total in the triangle shape below. Again, this step, number 5, is already done for you. Step 6 says, in the graph to the left of the triangle, find and highlight in yellow your score on the top white row and the shaded bottom row. So my number is 165, so I find 165 in here. This is a bigger range, so I'm in here. I'm going to highlight this to be yellow, and the row below it also gets highlighted as yellow. Go ahead and do that. Step number 7 says the bottom 3 graphs show whether you scored as a hem or a haw. This reflects your change readiness. Lower sniff or higher sniff shows your change anticipation level, and a lower scurry or a higher scurry reflects your change energy. You are to highlight the boxes on both the top and bottom rows that correspond to your numbers. So if I scroll down here, again, your numbers will be over here and they automatically change for you. So I'm just going to pretend that this is a 16. So I would highlight my 16 as a yellow and down here as a yellow. And we'll just say that I'm a 22. And so that gets changed yellow, as does the bar below it. And you'll notice that there is a line here. So you're either going to be a lower sniff or you're going to be a high sniff. You're either going to be a lower scurry or a higher scurry. So go ahead and do that and pause this while you do that and then continue. So this pretty much gives you your profile. In my case, I'm a hem. You might be a haw, but I'm a hem. I'm a higher sniff and a higher scurry. So what does this mean? Well, we're going to go back to Google Classroom, and now you're going to open up this Change Profile booklet. And when you open this up, you're going to scroll through, and again, here are your 4 personalities. Remember that these 4 personalities, sniff, scurry, hem, and haw, are part of us at all times. They're parts of all of us, the simple and the complex. Sniff, scurry, hem, and haw are intended to represent the simple and the complex parts of ourselves, regardless of our age, gender, race, or nationality. When we learn to deal with these parts of ourselves, we can succeed in changing times with less stress and more success. So then there's a table of contents for you, and there's a section on interpreting your scores, and then there's a discovering who you are. You're either going to be a hem and be one of these 4 profiles, or you're going to be a haw and one of these 4 profiles. So figure out, are you a hem or are you a haw? I'm a hem. I then need to figure out which one of these I am. So if you scroll down, you'll see that it details hem and haw. So read about whether you're a hem or a haw, and then continue and read about if you're a lower sniff or a higher sniff. If you're a lower scurry, read that. If you're a higher scurry, read about yourself over here. And then you're going to determine your change profile. So again, you're either a hem, and you would look at this column, or you're a haw, and you look at this column. If you are a haw, you're either going to be a higher sniff and a lower scurry, or a higher sniff and a higher scurry, a lower sniff, a lower scurry, or a lower sniff and a higher scurry. So figure out how you scored on your change profile. So again, I was a hem, high sniff, high scurry. So I would say hem, high sniff, higher scurry. So I would be classified as a dreamer. So I would then, once you've identified yourself, locate the dreamer. So profile 1 is an analyzer and 2 is a dreamer. And read about yourself here. Once you have fully read that, you're going to go back to Google Classroom and you're going to complete this form. So in this form, you're going to tell me your name, last name, then first name. Are you a hem or a haw? And each one of these, you're going to tell me who you are and then submit the form. And that's where we ended class today.